Walk into almost any strip mall in the country, and you know the smell. The amber-lit warming lamps, the gleaming steam tables, mountains of crispy chicken glistening under a thick, sweet sauce. It's a compelling value proposition. For $12, you get an unlimited pass to dozens of different dishes. It is an environment of total abundance for a flat, predictable price. But for regular diners, that low price tag comes with a significant trade-off. The all-you-can-eat Chinese buffet has become a primary driver of a largely unrecognized dietary health crisis. This is a nutritional breakdown of a single order of General Tso's chicken. It contains 1,578 calories, 2,400 milligrams of sodium, and 62 grams of sugar. That one plate exceeds the total daily intake of salt and added sugar recommended by the American Heart Association. These numbers are not representative of historically balanced Chinese cooking. To thrive in a competitive market, early immigrant restaurant owners adapted traditional recipes to suit a specific American palate for salt, sweetness, and fried fat. Over several decades, those adaptations have culminated in the modern buffet, a system that aligns with human biology to encourage maximum consumption. The flavor profile of most buffet staples relies on a specific chemical architecture, the combination of sweet and salty flavors with deep-fried textures. Dishes like orange chicken are battered in starch and deep-fried before being coated in sugar-based glazes. This combination triggers a dopamine response in the brain, often overriding the physical signals that tell you when you've had enough to eat. For decades, public concern focused on MSG. However, the FDA classifies MSG as safe, and it actually contains less sodium than table salt. That controversy often distracted from the primary health risks in these meals, the high concentrations of refined sugar and salt. The sodium levels are particularly high, often exceeding 3,000 milligrams in a single visit. When that much salt enters the bloodstream, it causes water retention and forces arterial walls to stiffen, which increases the long-term strain on the heart. This chart compares a plate of stir-fried greens to a standard fast food double cheeseburger. The vegetables contain roughly 900 calories and 2,200 milligrams of sodium, levels that actually surpass the burger in both categories. Because of how these dishes are prepared, many diners end up consuming far more salt and energy than their bodies require, even when choosing items they believe are healthy. While the food itself is calorie-dense, the all-you-can-eat delivery system creates its own set of biological challenges. The pressure to overeat often begins with the payment. Because the meal is paid for upfront, diners often feel an economic urge to get their money's worth, leading them to eat well past the point of satiety. This is compounded by the sheer variety on the line. When the brain sees dozens of different options, a phenomenon called sensory-specific satiety occurs. You may feel full of one dish, but the sight of a new protein or dessert restarts the appetite, overriding the hormone leptin, which signals fullness. There is also a neurological component. Researchers have found that consuming highly palatable, sweet, and salty foods can lead to ingestion analgesia, where the brain suppresses the physical discomfort associated with an overstretched stomach. The buffet model functions by aligning with our evolutionary drive for variety and calorie density, which frequently results in chronic overconsumption. To understand how the physical layout of a restaurant influences these choices, researchers from Cornell University's Food and Brand Lab observed diners across 11 different buffets. This diagram shows the seating patterns the study identified. Overweight individuals were found to seat themselves an average of 16 feet closer to the buffet than normal weight diners. They were also more likely to sit in chairs that directly faced the food. The differences continued at the table. These diners were more likely to use larger plates and eat with forks instead of chopsticks, which increases the volume of food in every bite. They also tended to start serving themselves immediately, rather than browsing the options first. Most of these behaviors happened without the diner's conscious awareness. It suggests that overeating in these spaces is often a conditioned response to a specific physical environment. When these behaviors are repeated by millions of people every week, the cumulative impact contributes to a national pattern of diet-related health issues, including hypertension and type 2 diabetes. These establishments are often concentrated in lower-income communities and rural areas. In many food deserts, the buffet is one of the only affordable, full-service dining options, making calorie-dense and high-sodium meals the most accessible choice for the local population. To maintain a low, all-you-can-eat price point, these restaurants rely on high-volume supply chains. This often involves the use of lower-cost, factory-farmed proteins produced at an industrial scale. The economic model also impacts operations. Minimizing waste and labor costs is a priority, which can lead to challenges in maintaining food safety standards and proper holding temperatures for dozens of different items. The effort to keep the buffet endlessly full often results in a reliance on industrial supply chains and strained operational standards. There is a sharp distinction between this model and authentic regional Chinese cooking. Traditional Chinese cuisine is characterized by an abundance of fresh vegetables and balanced proteins and is often highly nutritious. The Americanized buffet is different. It is a commercial adaptation optimized for low cost and high palatability. The $12 price tag is a short-term calculation. The long-term bill is paid through the health of our cardiovascular systems and a healthcare infrastructure increasingly burdened by chronic, diet-linked conditions.